what's up, everybody? We're back with the Late Night in the Garage. Corey Lizaraga and Tyler with our special guest, Joaquin. So, we're having a great time here tonight, man. We're fucking vibing out. We're fucking doing our thing. I want to talk to you about this fucking camouflage hat you got going on here. What the...
You want to talk about my hat?
We kind of got to know you a little bit. Everybody's kind of getting to know who you are and what you're about. So like
you're really a scout in like World War II.
Yeah, like bro.
To be honest, I'm surprised you guys couldn't even see it. This is camouflage.
Were you the
so
one
we're hardcore kids, huh?
Yeah, exactly. This is my. I don't know, man. I don't even know where I got this fucking hat. I think I've had this hat for like 10 years or some shit like that. And I've drawn so many things in paint marker on the bill that have faded over time, so there's nothing there. But yeah, this was my old hardcore hat, I think. But yeah, I'm really surprised you guys can see it, and it doesn't just like fade into the background or something.
With like the whole.
It looks like a salad.
Like a salad?
Like you got a salad on
your head.
You got a salad on your head.
It looks like I have a salad on my head.
A salad.
Do you like salad, Joaquin?
Well, sure, yeah, I like salad, yeah.
Tops. You're vegan, right?
Naturally.
Anyways, back into you.
Duh.
Let's talk about you. Okay, one thing I
let's talk about me. Yeah.
I want everybody to kind of know here, because like I'm curious. Like I met you like what, maybe 6 years ago. It seems like
Something like that.
something around there. Where all have you been? What countries? What have you done? And why have you left the States to do what you're doing? Like
Okay. Let's see. Countries that I've been to, aside from the U.S. Well, no. Actually, since I was born.
And I know you lived in London for a while. So.
Since I was born and raised in Mexico, we'll do countries I've been to aside from Mexico. How about that?
Yeah. No, that's
Let's keep
what I
it
mean.
real.
It's like you were born in Mexico.
Yeah.
Let's talk about everything after that.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
So, let's see. Countries I've been to other than Mexico. The United States.
Mm-hmm.
England.
Okay.
Slovakia.
Canada?
No, I've never been to Canada. Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
But I want to go to Canada. I'd really like to guest
Great
like
health benefits.
with like Rob Noseworthy and Steve Moore and James Tex and all those dudes. Hint, hint. Let's see, England, France, Slovakia, Austria,
Wow.
Greece, Italy.
So you've totally been to Arnold Schwarzenegger land, right?
You know what I did in Austria, man?
Did people talk like what? Like was like everybody there talking like, oh, like hey, you got to get to the plane, like.
I wouldn't know, because here's the extent of my Austrian experience. I pissed in a field in Vienna, and then got back in the car and drove to Slovakia.
Okay, so you were there for 10 seconds.
I drove through.
It was like doing a layover
I drove
flight in
through
Tennessee
Austria.
when you're going to Florida.
I flew into Vienna, and then got in a car and drove through Austria into Slovakia.
Okay.
Stopped momentarily to pee in a field. So that was my Austrian experience.
Okay.
But yeah, and so I've been to several countries. I spent a lot of time as a teenager in England, in London, traveled all around England, and then
Skated England.
I skated a lot of England and France and Italy. Those were some of the most fun times I had skateboarding, man, were in Europe, definitely. And then I've worked in and traveled to maybe a dozen or so states here in the U.S.
All right. So that being said, for everybody that's watching, if anybody fucking watches,
All three of you.
this goddamn shit show.
I'm gonna watch this.
What was your favorite place to be, and why were you there? Like, were you there for tattooing, or were you there for pleasure? Because I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand.
My favorite city in the world. That's a toss-up between London and Paris. I love London. I spent so much time there. I still know the city like the back of my hand. I can still get around fairly well. I love Paris so much because both of those cities are just so grimy and dirty, and like you can't touch anything, and everything smells like bum piss and
like two hobos fucking in a shoe full of piss.
Sure.
Deadpool reference, just so everybody knows.
I've not seen it. Those cities go on forever. Here in Pueblo, you guys know, you look out on the horizon and you see fucking prairies, or you see mountains, or you see whatever. Paris and London, you just see city as far out as you can see. Those are massive cities, and Rome as well. Paris and London are my favorite cities. I would have to say, though, maybe my favorite place I've ever, or my favorite experience in traveling was in Rome because I think I was 16 years old the first time I went to Rome. And I went with my father and his wife. We got separate hotel rooms, so they got their own, I got my own, in the basement. It's like a fucking 1,000,000% humidity, 100,000 degrees, so fucking hot.
Wow.
So what I would do is I would wait, we'd get back to the hotel rooms, say 7, 8 o'clock at night after dinner. My dad and his wife would go to sleep. And so I would say, I'm going to go to bed too. I'd go to my room and watch TV for like 20 minutes, make sure they fell asleep. And then I'd fucking slip out and like go run the streets in Rome by myself.
Fuck
you know. At 16 years old, that's when I bought my very first pack of cigarettes, because they had these vending machines on the streets. They looked like ATMs, but they were for cigarettes. So I bought my
like
very
the
first
condom machines in Logan.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just had to throw that back in
Dude,
there.
I get it. You bought condoms at Logan Jug.
Hey man, I just had to throw that back in there. Anyways, let's continue.
So they had these vending machines right on the streets, built into the walls of these buildings, the outer walls. So I would, I stopped and I bought a pack of Marlboro Reds for like 50,000 lira or something. And I didn't know what the fuck to do with it. It comes in cellophane. I didn't know how to take the cellophane off. And so I'm literally like in the middle of this piazza in Rome at night. And I had to take my keys out and like cut the cellophane with my keys because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Amateur.
Amateur motherfucker, dude.
Well,
how old were you?
How cool did you look when you bought your first pack of cigarettes?
How old
in the
were
middle
you
of
though?
Rome?
Pretty fucking cool.
I was 16 years old, I think.
Okay.
And I remember I brought a pack of cigarettes back from Europe with me when I came back at the end of the summer. They were called Super Kings. I bought them in London, and they were just the roughest, gnarliest cigarettes of all time. And I remember splitting it with my friend Chad, and we were just fucking on top of the world, dude. That summer, when I came back for the end of the summer, his girlfriend had gone to Mexico. So we made this pact that we would just get fucking turbo hammered every day until she came back, which we did.
How was that?
Well, let me tell you this. There are still stains on the sidewalks of University Park from that summer. And we also pissed on each other that
In
summer.
Pueblo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We sort of like, we stopped at this park to pee, Chad and I, in the dark, right? And so we're peeing like back to back talking about God knows what. And this is like, drinking vodka all day kind of piss. And we're talking and we get way into this conversation and like slowly just inevitably turn around. And before we know it, we're like pissing on each other's shoes. So yeah, it was a fun summer.
Sounds like a shitbag summer.
It was rough. We used to skate around the east side in Belmont with 40s in my backpack, okay? But we had to keep them cold somehow, during the dog days of summer in August. So I used to put packs of frozen vegetables and green chilies in my backpack around the 40s to keep them cold.
Or you could have done was not do that.
Why would we do that?
Eat the green chilies. Don't use them as that.
I
guess that's a good way
to green chili
to thaw them out. That's a good way to
I
thaw them
didn't
out.
do that. I know you
Just
didn't
so
do
you
that
know,
for a
if you
fact.
ever want to thaw out your green chilies and you have them frozen, throw them in a backpack with your 40s, cool them off, cool your 40s off, and then you can cook your green chili.
Or you could not do that, says the guy that never chilled his 40s with green chili. Come on.
So,
HG 800 and still reserved 40s. That's
so
all we
going
do.
into
And
this,
Skull
with
vodka.
all the business and stuff, like, I want to jump back to the beginning of like this episode and kind of talk about like, what was the coolest place, like this being a huge DIY town, what was the coolest place you fucking skated outside of this country? Like, what was the coolest time you ever had? Like, what did you experience that kind of just was like, damn, man, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity,
Sure.
and I got to experience it whether I'm a great skateboarder or not. Like,
I was alright, let me say that. I was decent, okay?
well, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
I didn't like push
saying,
Mongo or anything like
I'm
that.
just saying,
Oh,
well,
shit.
Donnie does. Our buddy Donnie. fucking-
Donnie, come on. Get
Dude,
off that.
Donnie, you motherfucker, bro, and I've been giving you shit about this since we were kids, man. Why the fuck do you push Mongo? You look like a goddamn kid on Tourette's trying to push and fucking Mongo.
There was some dude, remember in the Plan B video, the old Plan B video that pushed Mongo, and he was good. But that was it. He was like the only dude ever. So, my favorite place I ever skated, when I was living in London, my routine for the day was I would get up And my dad and his wife, they worked for the BBC, so they would be at work by
Really?
like
BBC?
6 o'clock. Oh yeah,
Damn.
Damn, that's
for
big time.
a decade and a half they worked at the BBC. So they would be gone by the time I woke up. I would wake up, go down to the kitchen, and make myself a bowl of Crispix cereal, my favorite, and then I'd watch a 2-hour block of ER.
Nice.
All right, that was on I think
Oh, yeah.
BBC 4 every morning. 2-hour block of ER.
For all you young buck motherfuckers that are into Grey's
You don't know
Anatomy and
shit. You don't know shit.
ER. ER is way better than
Okay?
Grey's Anatomy.
ER. So I'd watch my 2-hour block of ER, eat my Crispix cereal, and I'd catch a train and head down to this spot called South Bank. It was the South Bank of the Thames River, and it was under this bridge by the Royal Albert Hall, I think. And so all the skateboarders would kind of meet up at South Bank in the morning. We'd warm up, whatever, have a quick session there, and then move on to all these other street spots. So one day I was at South Bank with this fucker Nick Jensen, who was like 13 or 14 years old or some shit at the time. Just so good. This kid came out of nowhere.
Killing
Crushing it, dude. He would show up and just blow all of us away, all right? And I think he went on to become a pro skater there in London later on. So Nick Jensen was there as usual, and we fucking hated him, whatever. He was better than us. And we're all skating around, and all of a sudden this dude rolls up. This lanky, scrawny motherfucker rolls up with these mind-blowing tricks, right? Just so smooth. Like, he's not even popping. Dude, his skateboard never hit the ground. He never popped anything. He just floated everything. And so,
That's what
It's like
same.
goddamn.
yeah.
This dude's on some sort of shit. Like, I'm on it.
Floating, everything, dude. Butter smooth. And so Nick Jensen and I were like, this dude's somebody, right? Like, we've never seen this cat before. We know everybody that skates at South Bank. We don't know this guy. And so we're looking at him. We can't get a good view at him, but Nick and I are looking at him.
And this is in London.
This is in London at South Bank, which is a legendary spot. Still there as of like 2 years
So if
ago.
you ever
Last
go
time
to
I was in
London,
London.
go check this place
Yeah,
out.
South Bank. And
You're from London.
suddenly Nick and I were like, dude, you know who that is? It's fucking Tom Penny, man. Like, that's Tom Penny, right? At the time, Tom Penny was like in exile in France because he didn't want to be famous, and he was the best ever. So he moved to France and like just skated this weird mini ramp in his garage or some shit. We were like, that's fucking Penny, dude. He's like back from Toulouse, and he's here at South Bank. It's Tom. Well, it wasn't Tom Penny, but it was Stefan Janowski, who at the time had just got on Habitat and DVS crew. All right, so we're like, our minds are blinded from Stefan Janowski skating at South Bank with us, just killing it. And then slowly, within the next maybe 10 minutes, one by one, these dudes roll up one by one. All of a sudden, it's like Cairo Foster's there, Danny Garcia's there, Anthony Von England is there, and we're just like, we're beside ourselves. We're
Like,
no
mind
fucking
blowing.
way, dude. The whole like Alien Workshop, Habitat, DVS, Lakai had just kind of come into being at the time. This whole crew was there. One by one, they rolled up, and so we got to have a cool session with those dudes. Just so good, and like, none of these guys were my favorite skateboarders at the time, but after skating with these dudes,
They became.
Were you actually skating with them, or were you just kind of like, oh,
Like, standing there like, I suck at life.
no,
Like, these
that's
dudes
what
are-
I should have been doing.
Because, like, half the time, like, dude, in my situation with that is that, like, when I got to skate with Rodney Bullen, I didn't even throw my board down. I technically didn't even
When I met
skate.
Rodney, he didn't even have a skateboard with him.
Oh, really?
He didn't even bring it. He told me, he's like, dude, I didn't even bring a skateboard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's
That's
like,
strange,
I'm
because
just
that
sitting
guy
here signing
usually-
autographs all fucking day.
Oh.
But no, so one by one these dudes roll up, and we're skating with the whole crew, the whole team. And no, what I should have been doing was just sitting there watching them. What I was actually doing was just missing tricks left and right, trying to impress these dudes. But at the time, I was writing a lot of graffiti, and these cats that wrote graffiti in London, at least at that time, they were like super into jungle and electronica stuff. And I was into like all this weird all this weird goth shit at the time. I was listening to like Joy Division and New Order and The Cure, and they thought I was like a total fag for listening to all the goth new wave stuff, and they were all into their jungle shit. But all these pro skateboarders were looking at my black book because I asked them to sign a page in it, and so they were looking at my black book. And like they liked my graffiti, they liked my rudimentary tattoo designs at the time, and I think Danny Garcia actually told me that we would keep in touch, and that if I ever became like a a legitimate tattooer that I could put something on him, which I haven't done yet.
Which,
So
like
if
I
Danny
said
Garcia's
earlier-
watching this,
Like which I said like
He won't be.
earlier, man. Like
He
why
won't
don't you
be.
hit the guy up? Like hit him up.
I don't have his fucking phone number,
Well,
man. I don't know how to get
Hey
hold of
man,
him.
we live in the media of like we live in the time where Facebook is like one of those things where it's just like everybody and their fucking goddamn mom has a goddamn Facebook.
Yeah, no, I'll just Facebook him later.
Yeah, Facebook.
All right.
Just do the ignorant thing, dude.
Yeah.
Do the ignorant thing. Be like,
Oh, you're not ignorant at all. It's kind of like.
I'm sure he'll remember that kid.
I
that
highly
South Bend
fucking
one
doubt
time.
it, but I
I'm sure he will remember.
But
Yeah,
that
he's got it,
kid.
yeah.
on another thing with that too, and like skateboarding and tattooing, you obviously have a huge punk rock fucking DIY, like what we're about. You've experienced a lot of things. You've been to a lot of places.
He's not punk rock. He was the fucking got him at the drive-in at Mars Volta.
Dude, fuck yeah!
If that's not
Me and
punk rock,
Joaquin
yeah.
have had like conversations about the band. I totally did not know Mars Volta was at the drive-in until Joaquin told me. But you have a lot of tattoos here, bro. Like you
I got a few, yeah.
You've got a pretty big plethora of shit going
Yeah.
on, man. I mean, like
I got some tattoos.
who I heard this earlier. Somebody asked you who did all your tattoos? Because you do tattoos on everybody I know.
Sure.
Everybody I know has been tattooed at least once by Joaquin.
Yeah, so who
who
watches the Watchmen? Yeah, I get
Who
it.
does Joaquin's tattoos?
Oh, God.
I've got, at last count, I think I have like 20 something different tattooers on me. I've been tattooed in, San Francisco, LA, London, tattoos from New York, from Denver, from here in Pueblo.
Have you ever been tattooed in Russia?
I've never been to nor tattooed in Russia.
I was watching an interview with Mitch Lucker, rest in peace.
He deserves it.
He's the vocalist from Suicide Silence, covered in just tattoos on
Okay.
every inch of his body. He said on he was on a tattoo show. He was on being interviewed on where all his tattoos are from and stuff. He said somebody told him to never, ever, 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 ever get tattooed in Russia.
Russia or Texas?
Russia.
Okay.
In
We
Russia.
always tell people not to get tattooed.
Yeah,
in
no.
Texas.
He said straight up on camera, like, I was told never to get tattooed in Russia.
Okay.
He didn't give an explanation as to why or anything like that. He just said everybody kept telling me never to get tattooed in Russia. So the first thing I did when we went on tour in Russia was get a tattoo.
Sure.
And he showed me on the camera, and he fucking was like, "This is the tattoo I got in Russia."
Okay.
Good tattoo. It was a really good tattoo.
Shit.
It was fluent. It kind
Shit.
Of Corey, fucking up over here.
No, it's okay.
Anyways.
He's not used to whiskey. Okay.
So
Glory.
he starts talking about how people just were pretty much begging him not to get tattooed in Russia.
All right.
Being a metalhead dude, not giving a fuck, nothing fucking matters. Who gives a shit?
As Joaquin calls it, new metal.
It is new metal. It is,
Oh no, and I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah, everything after 1998
He
was new
he
metal.
got a tattoo there, and he was like, nothing went wrong, nothing was bad, nothing was terrible. I don't know why people say don't get tattooed in Russia, but you've never gotten a tattoo in Russia.
I've never gotten a tattoo in Russia. I know exactly one dude that tattoos in Russia, and I've never been tattooed by him. I wouldn't mind though. I would have no apprehension in getting tattooed in Russia. I kind of like this concept of illegitimate sort of street tattooing in maybe countries that are not as developed as the U.S. or as the West. Not to say that Russia's not developed, which it is, but so I'm trying to plan a month-long trip to India. I want to stay in India for a
Hey
month.
man, I'm gonna elaborate on this before you go any further.
Okay.
If you do that, I'd actually like to join you.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, obviously, what we did over here is completely Middle
is.
Eastern, man. I love Middle Eastern culture. My girlfriend has actually been to Turkey and stuff like that, and she said it's a beautiful culture.
I'm sure, yeah.
I would definitely, if you ever did that, I'd love to.
Okay,
join you,
great.
Maybe.
And I think part of my trip to India, my stay in India, would be getting tattooed there. But I want to get tattooed. If I'm going to get tattooed in India, man, I want to get tattooed in some shitty street stall
The 20 needles count.
by some guy with no gloves on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
this guy has no gloves on.
Yeah.
He's got some shit, and he's pretty much banging the tattoo
Right.
into
And not that I condone getting tattooed by people who don't wear gloves. Don't take it that way. But at the same time,
There's
like,
certain-
nobody gets out alive.
We're all gonna die eventually. There's certain circumstances that it's just kind of like, hey man, let's do it. Like I always wanted to go to Japan and have one of them old ass fuckers that's like 80 years old sit there with a fucking paintbrush looking thing, and he's just like.
They
No,
wear
you
one
don't.
glove. They have one
No,
glove.
you don't.
I hear it's extremely painful. I know somebody who lives in Indonesia, and they came back here for a while, took us out for a while, and we were having some drinks with them, and I was like, hey man, where'd you get your tattoo from? Like, where'd you get your sleeve from? And he was like, Indonesia. I'm like, fuck man, well, I definitely want to hear about that experience. He was like, dude, I had always kind of grown up looking at tattoos and all this stuff, and I had always just had this urge to get old, like traditional, true old school tattoos where some old guy is sitting there just basically banging the shit into your fucking skin. And he sat for an entire day to get his sleeve done. He got that sleeve done in one day, and it was all old school guy with a fucking brush, just like.
So Lisa Smith, who I work with, she went to Thailand a couple of years ago, and again, like part of this pilgrimage for her was to go get tattooed by, a traditional Thai Buddhist monk in the temples. And so what you do is you bring them sort of an offering. You don't pay for it, but you bring them an offering of flowers, I think orchids.
Some sort of spiritualistic object.
Well, not that spiritual, because you bring them flowers and a pack of cigarettes.
But hang on.
The
flowers in that sense is a spiritualistic object.
Sure, yeah.
Say you walked in the door tonight and you brought me a flower, dude. I'm gonna be like, oh, thanks,
Thanks.
Sure.
I'm like, thanks, dude. Like, yeah, of course you would.
Anyways, there's a reason I'm sitting opposite Corey. Yeah, there's a lot of space between us.
Anyways,
I'm gonna
besides
sit
that
here, you're
bullshit,
gonna hand me a fucking flower,
Joaquin,
and I'm gonna be
Joaquin.
like, that was pretty. Thank you,
Joaquin,
man.
who is Sandy?
We were told not to ask that.
Who is Sandy? Sandy Calistro is a world-renowned tattooer and very famous sort of lowbrow fine artist.
Okay.
She's one of the nicest, funniest people I've ever had the privilege to work with. She's great, man. I have nothing bad to say about Sandy. She's one of the raddest, macho man, Sandy Ravage.
Well, I know you had nothing to say bad about her.
Macho
I know that's why I asked this question, because I want to know who is Sandy.
Who is the Sandy? Sandy is absolutely terrific. She's a beautiful soul.
You're blushing right now.
I can see it, man.
Sandy's she's a great person, an amazing tattooer, and a good kisser.
If any of you watching, if you fucking watch this piece of shit show,
please edit that part out.
this guy right here is blushing hardcore. And
You can make a dark man blush by saying
if
name.
you want to see Joaquin blush, if that's one of your biggest things, that's apparently what it takes. Is let's talk about her.
It's been like 8 years, and you guys are gonna ask me about Sandy. Come on.
Actually, that's a question from Craig Fry.
Oh, thanks, Craig. Thanks for that. I appreciate
Craig
that.
Fry.
Well, on the next episode, then you'll have to ask me about how Craig Fry can't if he's wearing any clothes on.
Oh man, Lucy fucked it up. So, no, let's talk about Craig Fry.
Let's talk about Craig Fry.
All right,
I covered that.
All right, no, Corey, let's talk about Craig Fry.
I don't know much about Craig.
What do you want to know about Craig Fry? You don't already know.
Is that camera good? Are we pausing? Pause it, turn it on, dude. If we have to, we'll turn it, like, I can do another break here.
No, fuck it, let's keep going. Keep it rolling.
Look at that fucking camera. Look at that camera saying half and half. Oh, there it goes. Lucy, what do you do?
You even know what I got going on.
That's gonna be my ringtone.
I don't even know.
You don't even know what I got going on.
Give us serious, man.
Oh, no, no.
Back on the cuts.
Fucking cocksuckers.
We're getting gold right now.
Hold on. Tyler comes over here. Fuck you, Tyler. What do you mean how to fuck up?
Lucy, the look on his face. Too much Jameson for you.
That's why I have fucking fucked up.
This is what we do on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
This is a Sunday night in Pueblo with your friends.
Actually, we had a good like snit pick.
That's
Cut it
bad.
out to like Ender kind of deal.
What?
Whispering sweet nothing
Yeah,
into
yeah.
Lindsay's ear over
Secrets
here.
don't make friends, Tyler.
He's trying. I'm like, over here, like,
I like
wait,
when Moose gets all lit.
doesn't make any sense.
He's like,